Carol, I am already getting the natural aroma of all the items that we can find in our backyard, and so glad that you let me come into Occasions today.
Well, glad to have you. I've gotten all this cypress and cedar and Leland cypress and pine all from my backyard. You guys probably have something in your neighborhood or in your own yard. Mostly the evergreens.
I think it's the time of year when friends and neighbors are all about sharing, so I don't think they would mind. Sometimes I have eyed, especially the holly. I know you've got some holly over there, and some years it doesn't look as good as others. You might need to borrow it from your friend, but let's go ahead. Let's talk about, I want to talk about just an arrangement. Usually when it comes down to the holidays, I'm so busy cooking and shopping. It's always at the last minute when I think, I just wish I had the perfect table arrangement. I know I have all the elements for the perfect arrangement, but I don't really know what to do. So that's why I want to come to the expert today. So tell me what you've done here.
Well, I've just got a basic container, but you can use any kind of container that you have in your home and just make sure it's waterproof, or you could put like a baggie or plastic to line it, to line it. And I have a block of Oasis that we have here at the flower shop, or you can find any craft store. Okay. You let it soak up real good because that's what's going to be giving moisture to your cuts.
And how long will this last?
Your arrangement, especially in the Christmas arrangement, they'll last as long as a Christmas tree, as long as you keep it watered.
Okay.
So they'll hold and the pines hold their needles for a long time, so you don't have to worry about that. But I usually start out and take my pine and kind of get the dimensions of the centerpiece that I want to make, and you cut it off and you make sure you don't have any needles or anything at the end, and you put it about an inch and a half in your Oasis. And you just basically lay out your shape.
Now this is going to be a pretty good size arrangement
too,
isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be a good size one. Yeah, so everyone could see it.
I know that you're going to make this look so easy here in just a moment, and I'm going to go home and try to do it just after the holidays, or just before the holidays, I should say, and I'm going to wish that Carol was there with me. Okay.
Well, you just you kind of do it in layers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You first of all just get the size that you want. And another tip is try not to let any cut ends of your greenery go over your container, because the cut ends, they'll ooze sap.
Right.
And you don't want to get that on your tablecloth. So.
And you're just mixing these up too, so it's not like you have to have all the pine on the bottom.
No, you don't. But just get yourself a good variety. And even if you don't have any cut greens, if you can just find a few things, like when Christmas tree trimmings. Like when you buy your Christmas tree, you can get the leftover branches, right. Yeah. And then you can mix it up in with other kind of greeneries like leather leaf or any other kind of greenery you can pick up at your local flower shop.
Now, in addition to this, what is your favorite Christmas flower?
My Christmas, I guess, would have to be the poinsettia. I like the,
Give us, I tell you what, every year we always have this conversation or this discussion in my house about the poinsettia, and they really last all year. Everyone says put them in the closet, and that seems like way too much work for me.
Well, poinsettias are from Mexico, and they're a tropical, so they're not very cold tolerant at all. And you could keep them in your house, but the poinsettia bloom itself is just the small yellow things that are in the middle of the red blossom. Well, that looks like the blossom. Those are actually just leaves.
Right.
It's not a blossom.
So I should just buy them every season.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's a lot easier.
And most of the hybrids that they do now, nothing lasts long anyway. So basically, they just breed them for the first blooming, and then after that, they're not really that particular about, them lasting a long time. They're more interested in getting different kind of colors.
Right.
So, and I got a little bit of magnolia. Magnolia is a good greenery.
Already this is coming together very nicely.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long for them.
This might be Catil's holiday centerpiece right here. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Just keep it watered, it'll work.
Now, about how often does this have to be watered?
You can just put your finger on the side of it, and if it's dry, but I would say you probably water every day.
Okay.
Because the fresh cuts will drink a lot faster.
And I've certainly made that mistake where you put something like this on the table and it wasn't properly covered, and then you do have a ring after the holidays. You don't want that, so
yeah.
Just a reminder to everyone to put some plastic or something down.
Yeah. Just have a watertight container. That's the most important thing, and keeping those cut ends from dripping on your tablecloth or your, anything that you have on a table.
Now, what about in the shop here over the holidays? Any idea on how many Christmas and holiday arrangements you all will be making? Are you making arrangements every single day through the month of December?
Every
it's just
day.
constant.
It's constant with events. There's a lot of events. Brunel's got events, and there's things at the country club and people's private parties, and there's always events going on. So yeah, just all day long.
You probably don't want to do this when you go home, do you?
I'm the last person to put my tree up.
Yeah, I bet.
And as a matter of fact, I
Okay.
make my tree from the greenery. I make a tree. I
Oh.
just take 2 blocks of oasis and set them up, and then I just build a tree out of greenery that I cut, so I don't even buy a tree.
That's easy for you to say, though. Okay, I was going to ask you if it was real or fake, what kind of tree you had, because I'm all about a real tree. I just love the aroma of the.
You
I
can't
just
beat
love
the
aroma.
fragrance. You cannot beat the fragrance. And I'll put some of this okra in here.
Okay, that's
Just kind
dried okra. I know I don't have any of that in my backyard, but I know where to come and get some if I need it.
Well, save your okra through the season, and then I use a Design Master. It's a stain. It's a spray in a spray can. It's Design Master wood tone, and I
Okay.
just it just gives it a little extra. But you could just use just when it's raw.
And then you've put some. Tell me what the proper name for that is.
I
Tell,
just
tell
put
us how you kind of put that together.
I just took the okra and I just inserted it with like a dowel, and just kind of wrapped it to keep it on there.
Okay.
But it's real easy to do. You don't necessarily even have to wrap it.
I
You
like
can
it,
just
and it
stick
makes a little sound too. So.
Yeah, it makes a little rattling noise. If you got any extra balls or anything like that, you can just put them on a pick and stick them in there. Pine cones, of course. Let's see, I got some on a wire here. Excuse me.
Now notice I'm not really offering to help with this demonstration. I'm letting you do this. Now, okay, now you're wrapping the wire. Okay.
Yeah, I just put a little wire on it so
Okay.
you can just kind of put your pine cones in.
Okay.
Let's see, I had another one around here. Oh, here it is. And then depending on if you want candles or not in it, you can put candles. You could either put the candles like directly into the oasis. You just have to make sure that it's a wax coated bottom. Otherwise the wick will take the water and you won't be able to keep your candles lit.
Okay.
And you can get these too at your local craft store here.
Oh,
as a
handy.
candle
I like
holder.
that.
But you can just put it in the oasis.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do I have to worry? I don't have to worry if it's wax coated with. I have
No,
that,
if
though.
you
Okay.
got this holder, you don't have to worry
Okay.
about that. So you just
That
put
just
your
looks
little
easier.
candles up there. Yeah, and you just stick them in there. You don't stick it over your greenery. And if you've got little scraps of ribbon, you can just, excuse me, you just take little pieces of ribbon. You don't need much. You just can kind of make little loops. You don't need to make, see, this is only a little scrap here.
Right.
You could just make a little loop. Also, I do use a pick.
And I know that everyone at home right now is saying that's just really easy for her to say, but you really did make it look simple, and I
I hope
think
so.
I could do this. I really do think I can.
But you can just use all kinds of little scraps, whatever you have around the house that's shiny and holiday-ish, and just stick it in your arrangement. There's no really wrong or right.
I am one of those kind of people that saves the really fancy bows from the packages every year. I never reuse them, but I say I'm going to every year. So this is a perfect way to recycle your own Christmas
Yeah,
bows.
you can recycle. You don't even have to make a bow, just make a loop is what I do. And then you just have your arrangement
Okay,
like
let's
that.
move this out of the way and let everyone see. And what a great job. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us in the shop today. And I hope that we've helped some people who are just looking for something simple and easy that they can do at home.
Yeah, you can make them any size. You can make them any kind of container. Just let your imagination go.
All right, I'm going to try this at home, and then I'm going to send you a picture, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. See you next holiday season.
All righty.